Okay. We ready to start, Madam CEO?
Give me 1 minute. Okay, it looks like that's done. I'm gonna hit, looks like we're recording. We're ready to go, Chair.
Great. Okay. I am going to call the Clean Energy Alliance Board of Directors meeting to order. It's February 18th, 2021 at 2 p.m. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Member Drucker,
Here.
Vice Chair Bod Patel,
Here.
Chair Becker.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We are virtually in Solana Beach, so I will go ahead and lead us in the flag salute. Hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I forgot to wait for the flag.
I forgot to remind you.
We'll do it next time. It'll be more formal. Okay, board members and announcements. Does anybody have any comments or announcements? Besides a new baby? All right, let's move on to presentations. We have a report out of the February 4th, 2021 CEA Community Advisory Committee by Chair Warden. Do we have Chair Warden on? I don't see him on the participants.
Chair Becker, I don't see him on at the moment. I can report that the Community Advisory Committee did hold its special meeting and focused their discussion on, it was on February the 4th, and the discussion was around the customer outreach strategy, and we will be sharing a presentation and a discussion with the board as well. They're very enthusiastic. They'll be a great group to tap into for connecting us with key stakeholders to meet and talk to, and helping to make sure the right information is out there. We're going to provide a toolkit and some frequently asked question documents. So we're off to a good start. But they're a great team and very enthusiastic.
Yes, great. That's good news. I'm looking forward to those talking points and all that stuff. So, all right, public comment. Do we have any public comment? I don't believe we received any. Can you just confirm that, Madam Clerk? We have no public comments?
That is correct. No public comments.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'll move on to the approval of the minutes. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Drucker. Could we call for the vote?
Member Drucker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bod Patel,
Aye.
Chair Becker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the consent calendar. We have 4 items on the consent calendar. I understand that we have a public comment on item 4, and I'm hoping that we can go ahead and take that comment. And I don't think that we need to pull the item, but we're going to go ahead and take the comment.
Okay. Dear CEA board members, I strongly oppose the 36% offering that was discussed as an option at the last CEA board meeting. All of our cities have as a major goal of our climate action plans to enter a CCE for the purpose of providing cleaner energy to our residents. The 36% offering is much lower than even SDG&E's energy mix, so would be a step backwards. Please keep the 50% as the minimum offering with the option to increase to 100%. Thank you. Ann Feeney, Vice Chair Del Mar's Sustainability Advisory Board.
Okay, thank you, Ann Feeney, for that comment. And yet, item 4 is the special meeting where it'll be a really important meeting. We'll be setting our rates and making our final decision on those products. So it'll be a good one to tune into. So as do any of the other board members, would you like to pull a consent calendar, other item from the calendar? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move approval of consent items 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the consent calendar.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Call for the vote.
Member Drucker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bob Patel,
Yes.
Chair Becker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, we are on to new business. Item 5 is the Clean Energy Alliance Interim CEO Operational, Administrative, and Regulatory Affairs Update. Madam CEO, you'll take that one?
Yes, thank you, Chair Becker. Unless there are questions on my report, I'm only going to touch on one item, which is outreach to our prospective new member cities. At the last meeting, the board did assign board members and key contacts for prospective cities. And I think a good next step would be to send letters from the respective contact offering to meet and talk about the benefits of CEA and the potential for joining and making a proactive outreach to those members. So as part of our recommendation for this item, I'd be seeking approval to draft those letters and send them out and see if we can't start engaging with those cities. And unless you have questions about that, I can turn it over to Ty for his regulatory update.
I do just have a comment on that. So we would probably want to do that after our March 4th, where we set our rates and our products, or so
Yes.
kind of the timeline.
Yes, I think that makes the most sense, is to do it after we have our rate setting.
Okay, and do you need a motion for that approval?
I think you can, if you wanted to, yes. That's
Okay.
actually a recommendation.
Sounds good to me. I'll move approval.
Yeah.
And I
Okay,
can second.
perfect. Thank you. All right, let's call for the vote on that.
Member Drucker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bob Patel,
Yes.
Chair Becker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right,
Yeah.
move on.
So Mr. Tosdahl can provide his update.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Boswell, members of the board. Good afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and briefly go through a presentation. I am getting a message that the host has disabled the screen sharing. So if Madam Hostess could enable, that would be great.
One moment, let me.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see if that worked.
That works. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hang on. Just expand it 1 second. Okay. I have a brief report mostly on rate-related regulatory matters today. And so I wanted to talk about the ERA forecast proceeding and the ERA trigger proceeding decisions, as well as a related matter in another proceeding, the general rate case phase 2, and then touch on an emergency reliability issue as well. I know that that the board has been interested and eager to know the outcome of SDG&E's ERA forecast proceeding. The final decision was adopted by the Public Utilities Commission, and so fortunately, we're not going to see the dramatic rate decrease that was initially proposed. In fact, because SDG&E is now required to use an updated load forecast, we are going to be looking at a rate increase, both due to the ERA forecast and the ERA trigger applications. The ERA trigger application was also approved by the Public Utilities Commission. Unfortunately, while we have been seeking information from SDG&E about the specific rate impacts, we have not been able to get any visibility other than what was contained in their applications and other regulatory filings. So we've had some calls, we've requested some information. I think, to be fair, SDG&E has had to spend some time adjusting its rates. And so we are scheduled to find out next week on February 23rd exactly how those rate impacts will be felt when SDG&E issues an advice letter. making these rate changes. We do know that the SDG&E is going to be applying a system average percent to each rate class, system average percent change, excuse me, to each rate class. And we have information, from the filings that give us a sense of the magnitude, but not the specific rate adoption that will be coming out next week. So certainly we will be reporting up to management about those rate impacts when that advice letter is issued. And we'll have a much clearer picture for all of you about what SDG&E's rates are going to be when the program launches. So unfortunately, we're limited in the amount of information that we can relay here. In addition to that, so that we don't go through this process again with the ERA that we just went through, which was quite an up and down process, and I think could have been a lot more efficient and smoother than it was. We're also intervening in SDG&E's general rate case phase 2. SDG&E has previously proposed to adopt a sales forecast, which reflects the energy usage anticipated in the following year. That also, similar to what they did in the most recent proceeding, does not take into account departing load. That would be for future rate applications, and so we filed the motion for party status and are intervening there just to make sure that we don't go through this process again, and that SDG&E takes into account departing load when it sets its rates. So finally, let's see, covered that. That's really a future thing. Emergency reliability. The commission has ordered the IOUs to buy capacity to serve load in summer 2021. SDG&E just released its advice letter. We're going to be taking a closer look at that. They have mostly small short-term contracts that they've proposed. There is one larger contract that they've proposed between 42 and 47 megawatts. So we're taking a closer look at that. The decision, unfortunately, was, I think, reflexive in nature in a lot of senses and didn't specify an amount of capacity that the IOUs needed to procure. So that being open-ended, it did raise some concerns for us. So we're looking more closely at that advice letter, and we may be filing a protest next week. We're still in the process of determining whether a response or a protest is warranted. So those are the big ticket items. I did want to mention one other thing that's not contained in this proposal, or I'm sorry, in this report, and that is that the commission has just launched a new rulemaking related to customer debt. And this is really an effect of COVID and the economic problems that it's caused. Collectively, the IOUs saw a $650 million increase across the state in customer debt or arrearages last year between February and December. It's a very large number that total. There's over $1 billion in customer debt that's owed to the IOUs. So the commission is looking into how to address that problem. The comments coming from the commission president, were a signal that it's a pretty high priority for them. So we'll be taking a closer look at that and bringing back some more information. If the commission does order some new programs to be adopted, it could certainly affect CEA. And so we will include that in our reporting and report back to you all about that. And happy to take any questions about the rate related proceedings or other matters. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I really do want to thank you for all your work on the ERA proceeding. I mean, I think you and I guess Keys and Fox as well.
Yes, Keys and Fox has been, yes, thank you. I appreciate that, Ms. Becker, Chair Becker, and we put some work into it, certainly a lot of work into it. Keys and Fox, the attorneys there, and the main attorneys we were working with are Tim Lindell and Jake Schlesinger, and they were great and really diligent, and so some credit is certainly owed to them as well. So, I thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. All right, looks like Board Member Drucker has a question.
Yes, Ty, good presentation.
Thank
In
you.
terms of protesting the emergency reliability, who is going to pay for your time on that?
Well, it depends on whether there's interest on the part of CEA and SDCP. We try to collaborate and split the costs where possible. So we'll be consulting with Barbara and consulting with SDCP, and we'll see if it's a joint protest or response. We'll split the costs between the programs. If one program is interested, if not the other, then we'll charge the program accordingly. And so that's how that process works, Mr. Drucker.
Great, thank you.
So there's a chance that we're going to have more buy more RA this year or next year?
This was an order for the IOUs. And so all customers will be paying for, including bundled customers, will be paying for the costs associated with this emergency reliability through a cost recovery mechanism that's called, quite non-descriptively, the cost allocation mechanism, or the CAM. And that is applied to bundled customers and to CCA and DA customers. So we are concerned about it, but the order wasn't directed to CCA programs, and nor could it be. The commission doesn't have the jurisdiction to order us to do something like that. But there is a concern about reliability, and so they did provide that pretty open-ended decision to procure additional resources.
And SDG&E would pass on that cost on to us, you're saying?
Yes, they would pass on the cost to their customers, their bundled customers, as well as CCA customers. Yep.
Okay.
That's correct.
Right. Very good. Does anyone else have any more questions, comments? Thank you for that report.
Thank you.
Okay, and I had asked, I don't believe we have any public comment on any of our items 5, 6, or 7, do we?
We do not.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, then you have what you need on that. We're just going to receive and file those. And we can move on to item 6, the Clean Energy Alliance Customer Outreach Strategy.
Thank you, Chair Becker. And I will share my screen for purposes of the presentation. And okay, let me know if you can see my screen. Perfect. And I see we have Chair Warden has joined us, and Chair Warden, please feel free to add where I may have not covered something. Based on our great, I did report out to the board that we had a great discussion at the Community Advisory Committee, and the committee is very enthusiastic to be a part of our success in our customer outreach.
Yeah, I would second that. It was a good meeting. Everybody was there, lots of suggestions given, and we gave everybody homework to go back and for the 2 liaisons from each city to focus on what would be key contacts in their community. Would it be the Rotary? Would it be a school association? Would it be a homeowners association? And to provide that information to Tripepi Smith so that they could utilize it. And that seemed like it would be very helpful to Tripepi Smith. And I think we were all pretty impressed that they know what they're doing at Tripepi Smith and will do a good job for us. So if there are questions, I'd be happy to try to address them, but that's all. And it was all good, I think.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that and bringing that report to us. So we have more on this outreach strategy. Is that correct?
We do. Did my sharing stop?
I see your, yes, I see item 6.
Are you on the recommendation slide? Are the slides advancing?
No, they're not.
Okay. Let me stop and restart. Okay, are they advancing now?
There we go, yes.
Okay, terrific. So the recommendation for this item is for the board to approve our customer outreach strategy. And please do provide your feedback and comments. And if you have some great ideas, we'd certainly love to hear them and add them to our outreach efforts. So our customer outreach strategy has 2 goals. One is to ensure our regulatory compliance. As a an enrolling or a launching CCA program, we do have customer outreach and communications that are required by the California Public Utilities Commission. And second, and certainly not least, is to ensure we communicate the benefits of Clean Energy Alliance to our customers, to our potential customers. We want to make sure that, you know, they have good information, they have the right information in order to make an informed decision with regards to remaining as a customer of Clean Energy Alliance. So with regards to the regulatory compliance, we have 4 notices that are sent to every what's called an eligible customer within our territory. These 4 notices would be going to the city's customers within Carlsbad and Del Mar. So in Solana Beach, because they've already departed SDG&E service and are already in a CCA, they did receive these 4 notices when they were launched. We have actually already started the noticing for Solana Energy Alliance customers. They had a 6-month notice that was sent out in November. That was to provide those customers with the 6 months they would need to provide notice to SDG&E if they wanted to return. We also plan to send the welcome letter to Solana Energy Alliance customers in advance of the May launch, just to remind them that that transition is happening. So with regards to Carlsbad and Del Mar, there are 4 notices. The notices are fairly prescriptive from the PUC in terms of what's on them. And in fact, as part of our the process to become a registered CCA, we did have to submit our language to the PUC for approval. The notices need to advise the customers that they are being automatically enrolled. We want to include information regarding our power supply options and the opportunity to opt up should the board approve the 100% renewable energy product. We provide information, terms and conditions of CEA service, and you'll see that on the sample that we'll show you. And then most importantly is information with regards to their customers' right to opt out and how to make that election. We also include information on how to opt up. The schedule of those notices for those customers enrolling in May, which is the vast majority of our customers, the first notice will go out mid-March. So after we've set our rates, we want to make sure that we can answer the question of how do we compare to SDG&E and what our rates are. So we'll send the first notice mid-March. The second notice then goes out in April in advance of then the May enrollment. And then once we've enrolled customers, the third notice is sent out in June and then the last in July. And then for the June enrollees, it's the same schedule, just 1 month, adjusted 1 month, and they'll receive the same notices. So I'm going to switch over to the notice to share that. So are you able to see the notice?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the backside of the notice, which notifies the customers that Clean Energy Alliance is on its way. We will be the default energy provider. We talk about the reason that it was formed was to meet the goals of each municipality's climate action plans, and that the program is locally managed and is available exclusively to residents and businesses within the 3 cities. So we're not able to offer service outside of our territory, and that the board of directors is made up of locally elected officials from each city. We talk about how it works, and we provide our graphic in terms of how the energy provision of energy utilities to customers happens. And that Clean Energy Alliance is the first step in the process, which is procuring the power that's then transmitted by SDG&E and to the customers. We have a placeholder for our phone number. We're in the process of acquiring our toll-free number that will be on the mailers. That toll-free number then rings through to our call center, which is manned by Calpine Energy Solutions. They provide these services to, I think, nearly all CCAs within the state. So their call center reps are very familiar with CCAs. They're very, very knowledgeable and experienced at answering questions and concerns about CCA programs and helping to ensure that we don't lose a potential customer due to maybe a misinformation or misunderstanding about what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish.
Can I stop you there for a minute on that slide?
Yes.
It says our website. Isn't our website the Clean Energy Alliance?
Yes, we have. Oh,
On
yes.
the bottom. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Good eyes.
No one will be able to find us.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we have it. And we also provide in Spanish where Spanish speaking customers can find information. So it looks like we have it in the other places.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, perfect.
And then on the address side, we have the terms and conditions. So those speak to the enrollment process, the customer's right to opt out if they decide they want to stay with SDG&E, and how to do that. It also describes the billing and informs the customer that they would still receive just a single monthly bill from SDG&E, and that bill would include CEA's charges, and that they're not duplicative. They replace SDG&E for the generation portion. And then talks about what happens if they fail to pay the bill, informs customers that if they are enrolled in the California Alternative Rates for Energy or CARE program, that they would continue to receive those benefits, and where to find additional terms and conditions of CEA service. And so this is the first mailer. The second mailer will have the exact same information, but will be in a smaller black and white format. Our third mailer will be in the form of a welcome letter, because it will happen after enrollment, and we want to welcome them to our customers to our service. And then the fourth mailer will be again the smaller black and white, and we send it in different formats to increase our chances of it catching the attention of the customers. You know, somebody may receive this and think it's an advertisement for a solar company, for example, and it may not catch the customer's eye, but a small postcard might, or a letter, you know, addressed to them might. So we want to ensure that the majority of the customers do receive and read the notice. I'm going to jump back to our PowerPoint. So in addition to those 4 required regulatory compliance notices, which, you know, are limited in space, and we can't put, you know, all of our benefits on there because we do have the regulatory requirements, we want to have additional outreach efforts. And the focus of those additional outreach efforts will be to communicate the benefits of CEA. Why should the customer want to stay with CEA? And so we want to make sure that we communicate why the cities established Clean Energy Alliance, and why the cities are implementing a community choice aggregation program, which are to meet our climate action plan goals that each of the cities have adopted, to implement local programs. We intend to support the local community, implement programs that benefit those communities with available resources as they become available, and to support local businesses. As we do business, we want to do business with the local community to the best of our abilities. We want to communicate what the power supply options are available to the customers. And, you know, customers, I think what's key to them is how we compare to SDG&E, not only with regards to our energy being cleaner, which at a minimum 50% renewable energy, we will, based on the most recent information on SDG&E's power content, we would be cleaner than SDG&E. And our 50% will grow each year. We're not just going to stay at 50%. We're going to increase with a goal to achieve 100%. And then how our costs compare to SDG&E. You know, what is the impact to the customer on their bill? And then we want to address typical questions and concerns we hear from the community when they're being enrolled. An example of that is, you know, why are they automatically being enrolled? There are, you know, a portion of the community that just won't like the idea that they're being automatically enrolled. So we want to make sure we address that and let them know that, you know, having it be a voluntary enrollment is actually not an option for a CCA. The legislation actually requires that the CCA be an automatic enrollment and not a voluntary proactive enrollment by the customer. So in order to facilitate these additional communications, we discussed at the Community Advisory Committee, you know, as our chair of the CAC, Chair Warden, discussed, that the CAC members will be identifying key stakeholder groups within their communities, and then we'll be working to schedule meetings and presentations, which based on current conditions will be virtual, but I think there's a benefit to that in that people who may not be able to go to an in-person meeting, now they can turn on their laptops or their iPads or whatever devices they have and participate virtually. Some of the groups that were brought up at the meeting were reaching out and meeting with the Sierra Club, talking to the school districts. We've reached out to the Chamber of Commerce. They have a Green Business Committee, and we're asking to be placed on their agenda to do a presentation for that group. Homeowners associations can be a good way to reach out to the residential community. We'll be focusing on monitoring our social media sites. So we do have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter account, and we have Instagram. So we will be monitoring, not only putting information on our social media, but monitoring local social media. And the committee members will be helping us with that monitoring and letting us know when there's information out there that is inaccurate, so that it can be addressed right away and squelch maybe some of the spreading of inaccurate information. And we really want to focus on the benefits of Clean Energy Alliance. We're developing and we'll be providing a toolkit or some talking points for the board to have as a resource for if you have constituents that reach out to you with questions. We want to make sure you are armed with information, the correct information, and how to respond. We'll also be providing that to our Community Advisory Committee. We'll be making regular posts to our social media accounts, something in the form of a "Did you know?" or, you know, addressing a frequently asked question. If we start hearing questions coming to the call center that are, you know, geared towards a particular issue, we'll put that out on our social media and answer that question out, you know, as best as we can to get that word out. An idea that we had as well is maybe hosting a virtual town hall meeting that if the board members are interested in assisting with that and helping to as being host, we can set up a virtual town hall meeting and we can ask for questions through our social media and see what kind of questions we get back ahead of time, but also open it up for live question and answer. Again, just to provide an opportunity to address concerns and answer questions. We've already started meeting one-on-one with our top commercial customers. You know, they're very cost sensitive, and they also may have some special rate plans that they're on or have special needs that we want to be aware of. And so we've started that process, and we will continue to meet with our top commercial customers to make sure that we are able to meet their needs and can answer their questions and address concerns and ensure that we can provide a good quality service to those customers. So that encapsulates the focus of what we plan. And we're interested to hear from you, your thoughts on the plan, and if you have other ideas or have any other thoughts that have come to mind.
Thank you. That was a good presentation. Sounds good to me. So I'm assuming the businesses, Carlsbad has over 70% of business customers. Are they going to receive that same notice that the residents will?
Yes, yes. The
And-
residents and businesses all receive the same notice.
Okay, and have we finalized that June enrollment list? And I'm hoping we whittled that down to as well as we could.
We have, as a matter of fact, we just met last week with SDG&E and have moved a portion of the customers that were originally on the June list have been moved to May because we were able to work with them and work out the issues that they originally thought would be there that don't exist. So, SDG&E has really been I think a good partner with us, and understand, our goal is to enroll all of our customers in May if we can, but also we want to ensure that we're not having the risk of billing issues by, not waiting the additional month. And so, so we've had very good meetings with them, and we are definitely minimizing the number of accounts that will be waiting till June.
And I recall when SEA launched, SDG&E decided to change the entire look of their billing, colorful, more pages, all kinds of different things. And are we anticipating any changes in the billing statements in May?
Yes, unfortunately, there will be, with their new billing system, there will be a new bill. And we will work with them to, facilitate communications and answer questions. I haven't yet seen a sample bill, but we will be working with them on that. And they will be communicating to customers about the new bill and the format.
And you don't know which month they're going to be rolling that out?
Well, their billing system is scheduled to go live April the 4th.
Okay.
And so the first bill would be the May bill, or for billing periods that end in April. So actually the bills will start coming out in April after the new system is live. So the bills will be starting to generate out of the new system after April 4th.
Okay. And then just one more thing. Are we monitoring conversations on Nextdoor at all? Because I know a lot of neighbors turn to that when they're,
Yes, and our community advisory committee is also monitoring and has given us some feedback and insight that we can then use to kind of help craft, information that we get out.
Great.
So, and if you are on and you happen to see anything, please, board members, let us know so that we can respond to that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Okay, Board Member Drucker has a question or comments.
Yeah, looks good, Barbara. I would only add that you come before each of the councils once we've set the rates, and to announce that and make the presentation of why this is important, et cetera, in front of the councils.
Yes, we thank you for that reminder. We are planning to go back to the city councils in March to close the loop on the discussion of the power supply options. So we did go initially to give a report on what was being considered. And then, yes, we want to go back and provide the final selection in case a city wants to select a different other than our default, and also to share the results of the rates.
Do you know when before the March 4th you'll have some of that information that we might be able to look at before that March 4th meeting about rates and products?
We will have SDG&E's rates are due to be made available, and I'll ask our special counsel Tosdahl to confirm. February 23rd is the date that we anticipate the advice letter with their rates will become available. We will have the rate schedules then available prior to the posting of the agenda, and be able to meet with the the board and answer questions. But I don't see where we would have it much farther in advance than that,
Okay.
just due to the tight timeline of when we'll have access to the information.
Okay.
Ms. Becker, I can confirm that as well, that SDG&E's advice letter is due to come out on February 23rd. And despite requesting additional information on multiple occasions, we don't have great visibility on how the rate decisions will be implemented until that time, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. Vice Chair Bob Patel has a comment.
Yeah, just a couple of comments. So I thank you, Board Member Drucker, for bringing up the, being able to present at the city councils. That's definitely something I wanted to mention as well. With regards to the outreach to the community, I'm assuming if we were to go into, and I apologize, you'll hear the baby in the background, but if with regards to the outreach to the community, is there something that we could also do with the business community? I know Chair Becker mentioned specifically around, specifically that 70% of the businesses that will be onboarding will be from Carlsbad. So just trying to understand if there's a way that we could potentially incorporate a town hall that would be specifically geared towards the businesses.
Sure, be happy to set that up. And if you're aware of, any business groups that we should also reach out to get on their meeting agenda to have a presentation specifically for that group, we would welcome that information. But yes, I'll add a commercial business geared town hall meeting.
Great, thank you. And everything else looks great. Thank you so much.
Very good. Okay. And that was just to approve it. Do you need a motion for any of that? Or
Yes,
just-
we do.
Okay, I would move approval of the customer outreach strategy.
Second,
All right, call for the vote.
Member Drucker,
yes.
Vice Chair Bhat Patel,
Yes.
Chair Becker.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. All right, item 7, adopt resolution number 2021-006, amending Clean Energy Alliance bylaws and setting time and place for Clean Energy Alliance board meetings through June 30th, 2021. Madam CEO, you can take that one.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Excuse me, Chair Becker. At the last meeting, the board did request that we agendize changing the Clean Energy Alliance meeting date and time due to conflicts that have arisen. And that does require adoption of a resolution. And in addition, it requires that we amend the bylaws. And I will ask our General Counsel Stepanisic to touch on that.
Yeah, so this will be a two-step process here, because the first, we establish our meeting dates in 2 ways. One, by a resolution each year that sets forth both the time and place and date of the meetings, and also our bylaws do actually refer specifically to the third Thursday as our meeting date. So what we can do today is amend our the actual meeting schedule for the remainder of the year. So it'll change the meeting dates for April, May, and June. With respect to the amendment of the bylaws, and I have prepared and attached to the packet here how we'll do that, but the bylaws actually take 2 meetings to accomplish. So what will happen today, we're introducing the amendment to the bylaws, and then at your next meeting, which would be actually in March 25th, you can adopt those finally. So we have to do a little trick here to accomplish all this and to keep everything going forward, is to actually cancel. We're asking you to cancel the meeting of March 18, which is your next regular meeting, and then direct that we have a special meeting for March 25th. And then going forward, we'll be on a Thursday each month. So in a special meeting, in this case, you're gonna be able to do all the same things you would have done at a regular meeting. And the one thing that we've done here on the bylaws now is, just in case there's a need in the future to once again change the meeting date, we're not going to fix the meeting date within the bylaws. The bylaws will simply require that the board establish its annual meeting schedule by resolution. And that's a process we're already doing. And that'll be the only step we'll need to do in the the future. So if ever there's a need in the future to change our meeting date, we'll just again amend our resolution, which for meetings, and that could be done at a single meeting. So again, in summary, we do have there's three parts to the recommendation today. The first part is to adopt resolution number 2021-006, which changes the meeting schedule for the remainder of our fiscal year. And then the second action is to cancel the regular meeting of March 18 and replace it and schedule a special meeting on March 25th. And then lastly, to direct that amendment to the bylaws be made as set forth in the proposed amendment number 1 that we've attached to your agenda.
Thank you. And then in June, would we just adopt another resolution?
We will. So then going forward, every June, we will adopt a resolution that will set forth your meeting dates and times and locations for the following fiscal year.
Okay, very good. Anyone have any questions, or would they like to make a motion for staff recommendations?
I would move staff recommendation.
Second.
Great. Call for the vote.
Member Drucker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bhat Patel,
Yes, sorry.
Chair Becker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. That was short and sweet. Do any of the board members have any requests for future agenda items? We have an important meeting in 2 weeks, I guess, so we'll be back at it. So I guess that's it. Adjourned. Our next meeting will be March 4th, 2021 at 2 p.m. virtually.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.